Here's why I'll never get a hair transplant to increase attractiveness.
And I think this is quite retarded advice.
I literally don't care. I could go bald. I don't care. I will never get a hair transplant.
If you're watching this right now, you're probably somebody who tends to be ahead of the curve in life. Perhaps you've even been watching Blackpill content prior to the 3 to 4 years I've been making content, dating back to the golden ages of Face LMS. Well, today I'm going to put you even farther ahead of the curve, predicting where society is heading with the black pill as people slowly begin to accept it. And I'm also going to show you the steps you should take to be as attractive as possible over these next few years, because there will actually be some more weight to non-looks things as well. While the black pill and lookism have gone mainstream in recent years, especially with the rise of figures like Clavicular, society still isn't truly black-pilled. And that's because hope sells better than truth.
I think one of the biggest mistakes people generally make, and I'm guilty of it too, is wishful thinking. You know, like, you want something to be true, even if it isn't true. And so you ignore the things that you ignore the real truth because of what you want to be true.
So currently, I like to say that everybody is gray-pilled. The majority of the public is not actually black-pilled, because the true black pill is far too brutal for them to swallow right now. People are beginning to accept the gravity and importance of looks, but they seem to believe that there is more within the scope of their control than there actually is. And it's right about here where most people will click off the video because you don't want to hear the truth. The truth is that most people believe that their genetic ceiling is quite a lot higher than it actually is.
Cuddy on the left has one of the worst frames I've seen on anyone not experiencing a famine. His shoulders are so narrow compared to his waist that if they ever wanted to make a real-life version of Earthworm Jim, just saying. Also, his ribs look asymmetric and twisted, probably from borrowing. Notice the man on the right's try-hard poses to try to make his terrible frame look impressive. His gym body is limited by his frame. Notice the effortlessness with which the man in the middle poses and looks better than both. A man's WHR, or waist-to-hip ratio, matters as well. The nearer a man's WHR to 0.9, the more attractive. If your WHR is too low, you look feminine. See the leftmost guy, who also has a bad WSR. If your WHR is too high, you look like a barrel or fridge. In addition to Cuddy's bad WSR, he also has a bad WHR, compounding his poor frame.
And quite frankly, I do think that this is a good thing. I think it's good that people are ignorantly blissful, because I think it's good that people want to improve. But eventually, perhaps within the next 6 years or so, the truth will begin to reveal itself as more and more people go down the looks-maxing rabbit hole and actually give their best efforts for a few years.
The black pill teaches that going to the gym can help some men somewhat if they have a good frame, and that success is limited by face, age, hair, race, muscle building genetics, steroid receptiveness, etc. The red pill idea that going to the gym will definitely make all men attractive is delusional. This man actually looks comical because of the discrepancy and incongruity between his sculpted body and subpar face. To give yourself the appearance of meeting the attractive waist to shoulder and waist to hip ratios, you can add some muscle mass to your shoulders or lose some fat around the waist, etc. But trying to overcompensate has its limits.
Inevitably, people are going to come to the realization that a lot of things are beyond the scope of their control, or that their genetic ceiling is a lot lower than they had initially imagined. And so I predict that the trend is going to be genetic acceptance. People are going to acknowledge the truth about the black pill, but the trending practice will revolve around the stoic Tyler Durden-like mentality of just letting go, letting the chips fall where they may.
Stop trying to control everything and just let go. Let go!
All right, fine.
Just be confident, bro, will soon take on a new meaning in the black pill community. Eventually, it's not going to be just a meme, but people will acknowledge that being confident and not caring what anyone thinks of you will actually begin to hold a lot of weight in comparison to diminishing returns that many looks maxes will get you outside of main ones like lean maxing, hair maxing, and some other frauds like lifts. In the black pill space, we accept that looks are almost everything, but it isn't everything. And that small percentage of non-looks related things might begin to carry more weight than micro looks maxes and caring so much about the opinions of others. Over the next few years, it will become more and more rare for a girl to find a man who genuinely doesn't care what anybody thinks and genuinely doesn't care about all this trending looks maxing stuff. And that in itself is actually attractive, and I'll explain. The reason it's attractive revolves around pre-selection theory, which is widely accepted to hold at least some weight even in the black pill community, and not caring about what others think implies pre-selection. It implies that your genetic original foundation is sufficient and you don't need to compensate. Does this mean that you should stop looks maxing and just let go right now? No. And I see a popular YouTuber giving this bad advice prematurely, ignoring certain scientific advancements. Before you reach that stage of just letting go, you should take action to make all the objectively good changes you can until you reach diminishing returns. For example, this means going to the gym to build an athletic body and lean down to 10% body fat or lower. This is actually attainable now with retatrutide, whereas before, this would not be sustainable for most people with a good quality of life at least. Another example is protecting your hair and saving it from the Norwood Reaper. A popular YouTuber, Casey Zander, recently explained why he'll never get a hair transplant or try anything to bring his hairline back, and I think this is quite retarded advice.
Here's why I'll never get a hair transplant: to increase attractiveness. I literally don't care. I could go bald. I don't care. I will never get a hair transplant. Personally, I like my hair. It's blonde typically from the sun. But listen, most guys don't realize that like there's innate value of a man beyond looks. Like I'm telling you, guys don't understand that once you start talking and who you are as an individual, the innate value that you have as a man on the inside is what dictates and determines if her girl emotions actually like you and if her emotions work in your favor. She's not going to all of a sudden say, oh, I don't like him, or like, oh, I would have liked him and I would have started talking to him more if his temples had more hair towards them. Like, this is just like absolutely ridiculous.
Friend is going bald and I hate bald men. How can I change the way I feel? I am having a difficult time adjusting to it, and it's affecting my sexual and physical attraction to him. Should I end our relationship over this? Balding is noticeable despite combing your hair over your hairline or trying to fashion a new one further back. Most guys who are balding will need to halt and reverse it if they want to keep their looks. The first port of call is finasteride, also known as Proscar and Propecia.
Okay, there's certain competency skills that all men are lacking. The ability to work on something, the ability to be skillful, the ability to know how to use tools, the ability to be handy or mechanical, the ability to know how to fix something, to change a tire, to not have to call somebody every single time and then a different man has to like do all of these tasks for you. Like, there's certain innate survival tasks and survival value that when you bring to the table, she'll feel and recognize on an innate level. So what tends to happen is that dudes, it's like we get it, right? You got another 6-pack of abs, another like forearm sleeve, you got more jewelry on, and it's like, what's that gonna do for you after a few dates? Like, another thing is guys watch all of these movies and stuff and you think, oh, I gotta be this like, you know, hyper assertive, you know, dominant dude that like, it's like, dude, like what happens when you two are like in the drive-thru at a coffee shop together? Or like you're in the drive-thru getting food together and like now she knows you for more than a few hours. Like, what happens when the lustful facade wears off? Be healthy, okay? Increase your looks if you can, right? Get 6-pack abs if you can, right? I advise to be in the gym. I've been in the gym for a long time. I'm pretty muscular. But like beyond that, man, let go and start vibing. Start talking. Start talking. Women who like you, you're going to radiate the right energy without you even trying. You don't have to try. This is not hard. This is not rocket science. Right? But to think that your hair and like all this stuff, all these insecurities, if you have it, look, I'm going to be 30 years old in about a week. I turned 30 on April 1st. If a woman were to reject me over my hair, I'm sorry, but like, I don't care.
Casey is prematurely reaching this just letting go stage, even though there is an objective good improvement that he can be making. Even without a hair transplant, to ignore scientific advancements like finasteride, minoxidil, dutasteride is just ignorant and lazy. He doesn't even need a transplant right now to make real improvements. Minoxidil could thicken up his hairline quite a bit, and finasteride can stop the recession in its place. Casey, I think you make really great videos, and I actually agree with the majority of your advice, and I'd encourage a lot of people in the Black Pill community to view some of his videos to get a different outlook on some other things that matter as well, because it's not only looks. But I think you need to stop being ignorant to the importance of hair just because yours is going. And you're giving out this terrible advice to plenty of young men, and I think it's because of your emotional state right now, and you're not willing to accept that there is action that you could take. A wise man once said, hair is life. And so the appropriate order of operations is to first take action in every area you can until the returns are diminishing. And this means you should consider pharmaceutical intervention and other scientific advancements. But eventually, there will come a point where you should just focus on maintaining your improvements and shift your focus to training your mind to not care about any of this shit at all.
Want to know what you're thinking? Fuck what you know. You need to forget about what you know. That's your problem. Forget about what you think you know.
And I know this sounds very contradictory and probably impossible nuance for autistic people like myself to actually comprehend, but it actually is possible with practice. You need to make the objective improvements that you can, embracing scientific advancements, and then you need to gradually adopt a mindset about not caring about any of this stuff. You need to adopt the delusional female mindset of, I'm just doing this for me, when they do their hair in the mirror. Actually trying to convince yourself of this and pretend like none of this really matters, even though you're doing it. Just know your objectively good and bad things, and maintain the good because it's objectively good. You stay lean because lean is objectively good. You take care of your hair because hair is objectively life. Tyler Durden says, just let go, but he styles his hair every single day. Why does he do that? Constantly thinking about black pill concepts is going to make you insecure in public as you compare yourself to others around you, and this is actually unattractive. You need to train your mind to untake the black pill while somehow retaining the objective facts that allow you to maintain your best possible SMV. It's a very tricky thing, but I'm sure a lot of you guys are smart enough to understand this nuance. The Matrix had its moment in society with the rise of Andrew Tate, and I think the next movie in line to have its moment is going to be Fight Club, as more and more people are going to have to accept their genetic foundation and the unchangeables that there are, and just let go. I believe within the next 6 years or so, this will begin to be the primary trend as people do begin to accept the truth about how dark the black pill really is, because we're not there just yet. People still have a lot more hope than the truth actually allows. In a few years, the popular movement will be to just let go.